Hey friends, happy Monday. I've got our what's for dinner to share with you today. So Andy was off this past week and we had a bunch of easy meals, and some nights we didn't even cook. We were busy like every day this week. We went out of the house either to parks, we went to the World of Coke with the kids. We were just out and about every single day doing stuff. So my plan today is just like to get the house back in order, and then we'll get back into homeschool tomorrow. But I wanted to go ahead and share this what's for dinner with you guys today. Hopefully it still inspires you to cook more for your family, or you get some new ideas from it, even though it's just kind of quick and easy stuff. But let's go ahead and get into this week's what's for dinner. Friday night we had some fish sandwiches, think like Filet-O-Fish from McDonald's. So I bought these Gorton's fish sandwich whole fillets, not minced. And then I put those on my air fryer basket with some tater tots or crispy crowns or circles, whatever you want to call them. And then I put them in the air fryer on 400 for about 10 to 12 minutes. Both of them got nice and crispy. And then I laid some American cheese on top of the fish to get it melty. Put it on some hamburger buns, and then if you like tartar sauce, you could add that on here. Then it's really like a Filet-O-Fish, but none of us care for tartar sauce, so I don't buy that. Then we had some watermelon on the side. This was a very like summery feeling dinner, and it was quick and easy. Saturday was an easy dinner again. I made some pizza. Sometimes I make my dough from scratch. Sometimes I buy pre-made dough. This time I bought the Kroger like pizza crust dough mix, which I know is super simple and I could just make it my own. But sometimes you just don't want to deal with like the mental load of having to measure ingredients. So all you had to do to this was add some water and make it get all doughy, and then you put some oil on it. Cover it with a towel for 5 minutes to let it rise, and then it's ready to knead out. This pan is a little bit too big for this amount of dough, so I kind of was like stretching it out and making it a little bit too thin. Got some holes in it, but it's okay. I just pinched it all back together and it came out fine. Something that the instructions don't usually tell you to do is to par bake the crust, but I love to do that. So I cook it according to the package directions, usually like 425, 450, and then I will do it for about 5 minutes and then take it out, put my toppings on, and do it for about another like 8 to 10 minutes till everything gets nice and melty and stuff. And then I am using the cup and crisp pepperonis, so I actually broiled this as well for like 2 minutes to get those pepperonis nice and crispy. I'm just putting on my sauce now once my dough came out of the oven. Had a little bit of brownness on it from par baking, and it just helps the crust not be like floppy and soggy. Then I'm topping it with some mozzarella cheese and those pepperonis and getting it back in the oven. I did do this twice. I made 2 pizzas because I bought 2 of those little dough packets. I just didn't think that you guys needed to see me do the same thing 2 times, so just cut that part out. But yeah, just a quick and easy pizza night. Came out great. But this is our first time having those cup and crisp pepperonis, and they were really good. I like how crispy they got. I really love a crispy pepperoni. To go with this, we had some fresh veggies and salad on the side. You'll notice we skipped over Sunday. Sunday was Mother's Day, and this was supposed to be the meal for Mother's Day dinner. They were gonna cook this for me because I had been wanting it, but we went out to, no, they got me breakfast, and then we went out to lunch, and it was a late lunch. It was like 4-ish or later when we ate, and then nobody was really hungry enough to eat this for dinner, so we ended up making this the next night. You'll see Elijah helping me marinate the chicken. We're using just some chicken breasts and then the Aldi version of the Olive Garden dressing. Just put that in there and let it marinate. We were going to let it marinate all day. We let it marinate overnight to the next day. And then I've got a can of the Glory green beans that I've put in a pot back there on the back. Used to love these. If you've been around my channel for a while, I used to buy those all the time. And then I'm heating up some oil and butter in a large skillet to cook my chicken in. And I'm just going to cook that like 5 minutes per side and then turn the heat down to like a medium low and let it continue to cook until it is done all the way through. Then to go with this, in the grocery haul, I mentioned getting this thick and zesty spaghetti sauce seasoning mix to see if it was similar in any way to the Kraft, like classic spaghetti, tangy spaghetti that's in the green box. It's not, it wasn't bad, but it just wasn't the same as that tangy spaghetti. So I wouldn't recommend it if you're trying to replace that. But I just made that according to the package directions with some spaghetti noodles. And then here was everything all plated up together. It was like one of my favorite meals when we first started making What's for Dinners. Andy made this for me for the longest time when we both worked. And then I started making it when I stayed home, and it's been a while since we had it, so I was just really wanting it. But unfortunately, I do not like those green beans anymore. Everybody else in the house absolutely loved them, but something about the flavor of them I just did not care for anymore. The chicken was absolutely delicious, and I will have to look for the green box tangy spaghetti. Or I did find online some recipes to make the seasoning packet from that. So I might try my hand at that, and I'll let y'all know how that is. Tuesday, I made some Japanese barbecue chicken thighs. So here in a big bowl, I have some boneless, skinless chicken thighs. I'm seasoning those all over with some salt, pepper, garlic powder, and onion powder. And then I'm going to add in this Japanese barbecue sauce that I picked up at Aldi. I've seen like the name brand and the Kinder's brand, but this one from Aldi was like under $3, which I thought was a really great price. So I picked that up when I saw it, and I just coated the chicken with that really well. And then I am getting the chicken on a foil lined air fryer basket, and then I'm going to put this in the air fryer on 400 for about 20 minutes until those chicken thighs are cooked all the way through. You could then brush it with some more sauce if you want to, but I chose to like dice it up and then serve it over some fried rice with some more of the barbecue sauce drizzled on top. The recipe for my fried rice will be listed out in the description box down below. I make it the same way every single time, although this time I ran out of frozen mixed veggies, so there was no veggies in there. But yeah, that was delicious. We loved the Japanese barbecue sauce, and I can't wait to use it in more things. Wednesday night, we just had Mississippi pot roast. This is a family favorite, and we're like moving away from like cold weather. I mean, we're pretty much away from all the cold weather. We had some like cooler weather the past like month or so, like rainy days, but I'm about done with like pot roast type meals, and we had a chuck roast in the freezer. So I wanted to make Mississippi pot roast one more time before it gets like too hot for something like that, because I prefer those types of meals in the fall and winter. If you've never seen me make Mississippi pot roast before, I will leave a video in the description box so you can see how I make that step by step. Thursday night was another night where we had a late lunch. We went to Cracker Barrel at like 3. We got done eating there at like 4:30, and so none of us were very hungry around like dinner time. The kids and I ate a bowl of cereal at like 8:30, and I think Andy might have ate something, maybe a frozen pizza at like later in the evening, like closer to bedtime. But that is it for this week's What's for Dinner. I feel like it was kind of all over the place because we were all over the place this week. Nothing really new, but I hope that y'all still enjoyed this week's What's for Dinner and seeing what we ate. Trying to mostly eat at home. We do eat out for lunch. That's typically when we eat out for lunch because it's cheaper to eat out for lunch and you avoid the crowds of people. But we typically only do that when like Andy's off or on vacation. So that's what we were doing a lot of this week. And that's why we had a couple days where we just didn't even eat dinner because we ate late lunches. But I hope that y'all had a great weekend. I hope y'all have a great week, and I will be back tomorrow with the grocery haul.